What is Masvidal doing? Masvidal is pursuing a fight with Conor McGregor, and he's now to the point of calling Conor McGregor names. Now, if you want to fight with Conor McGregor, you're going to have to come at him differently than everybody else. Like, he's not even going to hear you if you don't come with something different. Red Panty Night is very real. Conor's got all these people coming after him. They all do it the same way, which is all dull and boring. And then Conor's not sure, well, maybe this is the one. So Conor brings it to social media. He brings it to you guys. He sees how many of you retweeted and how many of you liked it. He sees what's a good idea and what isn't. They tend to, over the years, all blend together. So Masvidal's coming at him a little bit differently, and he's calling him names. Now, I'm all for calling Conor all the names that you want. Conor will call you names. The one that I will have to push back, just because it is so blatantly not true, is if you call Conor McGregor a chicken. He's a lot of things. Conor McGregor is not scared to fight. Like, I got to stop you right there. Now, I don't need reality to come into this. I don't need it to be any part of this. And at some point, everybody is going to meet their match where they are actually fearful. I trust that Conor's already met in that match and he walked out there anyway. There's no part of me that thinks that Conor McGregor wasn't scared to death to go box Floyd Mayweather. It didn't stop him from doing it. I bring that to you because if you're going to tell the Conor story, you got to tell it accurately, which is that dude is anything but a coward. He will go do the heavy lifting, but Masvidal is now calling names, and I'm just wondering, is that the one that we need? Masvidal has been a little bit different than other people. He has admitted this is a big paycheck. He has admitted this is a big draw, that this is about the money, but he's now resorted to calling Conor McGregor names, and Conor generally takes whatever bait is given to him. Generally speaking, if it's good for a headline, you're going to get McGregor to the party. That's the business that he's in. But Conor has been unusually quiet as it pertains to Masvidal. Now, not for nothing. That's interesting to me. You guys remember an old pro wrestler by the name of Jake the Snake Roberts? Jake the Snake Roberts gave some of the most intriguing and interesting interviews in the history of wrestling. Many said that he was a master of psychology when it came to the promo. And Jake Roberts would never speak above this tone right here. And the reason that Jake did that, Jake said if you're in a room full of people shouting, the best way to be heard is to lower your voice, not raise it. Because if you lower your voice and you speak softer, people have to listen clearer and more intently to hear you. Now, I don't know if Jake Roberts was right or not. I know that it sounds cool as I say that, and I know some of you probably even got a kick out of me lowering my voice and doing my best Jake Roberts impression. But it does seem as though that there would be a science within that statement. It would seem as though in a room full of people shouting, if you're the one to speak softer, that you are the one that would stand out. And there's something with the silence to Conor. Conor takes every bait that comes out there. I remember a few years ago, it was going to be Conor versus Frankie Edgar, and this is for a week, and boy, was Frankie excited. I personally think the most obvious comeback fight for Conor McGregor is Dan Hooker. I'm still of that train of thought, but I can remember 2 weeks ago when it was going to be Michael Chandler for about 4 days. And Conor will build that. At some point, somebody told him to fight Chimaev, and he said, sure, I'll fight Chimaev. And for some reason, Conor is a little bit more quiet towards Masvidal. Do we have anything to make of that? Is that because Conor finally is listening? Conor finally has found a fight that he likes, that he's interested in pursuing. Maybe. It'd be speculation at best. The only thing that I can bring for you that is accurate is that George Masvidal is now resorted to the lowest thing, which is to call Conor names. He's literally calling him. This is the second biggest star in our sport in George Masvidal, who knows how to pick a fight. By the way, he's so upset. He's so frustrated by not getting what he wants. He's now name calling. Okay, fine. I'm cool with it. I'm good with it. But I am right when I tell you that anybody else that's called Conor's name, that had any level of sway, that had any level of popularity, that had any level of accomplishment, throughout history has got a response, even if that only lasted for a week, like Frankie got. Even if that only lasted for 4 days, like Chandler got. Even if that lasted 24 hours, like Chimaev got. Everybody did get their moment in the sun. And Conor is unusually different as it pertains to Masvidal. Is it because Conor I don't have to respond? Everybody out there is like Chael, and everybody knows and recognizes that I'm not chicken. Or is there something more to it? Is he actually giving a good look at Masvidal, or is he completely uninterested, right? I mean, we've got to discuss all things. The only thing and the only phenomenon that I'm bringing to you, and I am accurate in doing so, is that Masvidal is so frustrated at the lack of the response that he's resorted to name-calling, and Conor McGregor is unusually quiet. I'm asking you, what do you make of that?